Most people walk into a room already defeated, not because life has beaten them, but because their own mind has convinced them they're not enough. And that's the real tragedy. It's not the economy, not the education system, not even the government. It's you. The battle isn't out there, it's in here. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned early on was this: don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. That was the turning point for me. The day I took responsibility, everything changed. And it didn't change because the world suddenly opened its arms. It changed because I decided to stop waiting for approval, applause, and alignment. I built belief like a brick wall, one thought, one action, one challenge at a time. You see, self-belief isn't some magical emotion you wake up with. It's a discipline, a daily discipline. You build it like a muscle, and the only way to build it is by doing the hard things, the boring things, the invisible things that nobody ever congratulates you for. Most people want to feel confident before they act, but that's not how it works. You act your way into feeling, not feel your way into action. Think about that. You act first, and then, slowly, belief follows behind like a shadow. Back in my early years, I didn't believe in myself either. I didn't even believe in breakfast. I'd wake up broke, discouraged, afraid to check the mail, because it might be another bill I couldn't pay. I wasn't just financially broke, I was mentally bankrupt. I had nothing to draw from, and worst of all, I didn't even know what I didn't know. But then, I met a mentor, and he said something that hit me like a brick. He said, "Jim, if someone gave you $1 million, you'd better become a millionaire fast." I said, "Wait, what?" He said, "Because otherwise, you're not keeping it. You'll lose it just like you lost your confidence." What a wake-up call. It made me realize that belief isn't a feeling, it's a capacity, it's something you grow. And the way to grow it is to keep the promises you make to yourself. Most people lose belief not because life crushes them, but because they break their own word too many times. They say, "I'll start Monday." They don't. "I'll quit next week." They don't. "I'll make the call." They don't. And with every broken promise, they chip away at their own self-respect. You want to believe in yourself? Start here. Do what you said you would do, even when nobody's watching, especially then. Self-belief is built in the dark. It's not public. It's not a speech. It's not something you post on social media. It's something you earn, in silence. When you choose to get up on time, when you stick to your word, when you don't negotiate with the inner voice that says, "It's okay to quit." No, it's not okay. People think self-confidence comes from motivation. Nope, that's a lie. It comes from evidence. You collect evidence every day that says, "Hey, I showed up. I did the work. I followed through." That's confidence. I remember one evening, I was broke, tired, and full of excuses. I was supposed to attend a training, but I didn't feel like going. I told myself I'd learn it later, but then I thought, if I can't keep this one small promise to myself, how will I ever trust myself when it matters? So I went, and that night changed my life. Not because the content was magical, but because I proved to myself that I'm becoming the kind of person who follows through. That's the power of a decision, not a feeling, a decision. You're not born with belief. You decide to plant it, water it, fight for it. And here's the hard part. You have to do it before the world claps for you. Before anyone believes in you, you go first. You lead, not for them, for you. Look, people will try to talk you out of greatness. They'll say, "Don't aim too high. Be realistic." That's not for people like us. And if you don't have belief in your system, you'll start to believe them. That's why you have to build inner wealth, mental capital, character equity, because that's the only thing you own. Everything else can be taken. I'll tell you a brutal truth. If you don't value yourself, nobody else will. That's not arrogance. That's economics. The market pays value, not intention, not dreams. Value. And if you walk around unsure, apologetic, and playing small, the world will give you just enough to survive, but never enough to live. The question is, are you willing to bet on you? Because if you're waiting for the perfect moment to feel confident, you'll wait forever. If you're waiting for applause, you'll die thirsty. If you're waiting for the fear to go away, it won't. You move with the fear. You walk into the unknown. You speak when your voice shakes. You stand up when your knees wobble. Because belief is forged in fire, not comfort. Let me give you a secret formula. It's not fancy, but it works. Discipline equals sign proof. Proof equals sign confidence. Confidence equals sign belief. Belief equals sign results. And results change everything. You don't need motivation. You need integrity. You don't need hype. You need follow through. You don't need approval. You need to earn your own respect. Because when you do, your energy changes. Your posture changes. Your words carry weight. And people start to listen. The world doesn't respond to neediness. It responds to certain. When you walk into a room, do you radiate "I hope they like me," or do you radiate "I like me, and that's enough"? One of the greatest powers a person can have is not needing anyone else to believe in them. That doesn't mean you're closed off. It means you're grounded, rooted, solid. And when you're solid, people lean on you. They follow you. They trust you. And trust, my friend, is currency. Now, here's where most people mess up. They wait until they feel ready. But the people who win, they take action before they feel ready. And that action is what builds belief. You don't get to become the person you dream about by accident. You design that person, one decision at a time, one hard choice at a time, one fulfilled promise at a time. And one day, without realizing it, you'll look in the mirror and see someone you respect, someone who doesn't flinch, someone who shows up, someone who follows through, someone who believes. But it all starts with today. Now that you've caught a glimpse of what belief is built on, let's go deeper. Because I'll tell you, most people never make it past the first floor. They read a few quotes, watch a few videos, and think they found belief. No, what they found is comfort dressed in confidence, and it doesn't last. Real belief is ugly. It starts in chaos. It starts in the moments where you failed so many times, you stop counting. But instead of quitting, you stand. Shaky, uncertain, angry, but you stand anyway. That's belief. Belief is standing when the evidence says sit. When you've heard no so many times, your ears ring with it. When your friends stop calling. When your family doesn't understand. When your bank account laughs at your dreams. When you've posted 100 times and nobody noticed. That's the test. And most people fold. But if you can stay in it, if you can keep planting seeds in rocky soil, if you can water those seeds with discipline, effort, and late nights, something happens. You wake up one day, and there's growth. Not out there, but in here. You become someone new, someone who doesn't need permission, someone who no longer negotiates with doubt, someone who no longer checks the temperature of others before deciding how bright to shine. You know how many people shrink because someone in their circle is uncomfortable with their ambition? Plenty. But here's the rule. Never dim your light just because someone else can't handle the brightness. If they have to squint, let them. You weren't born to live underestimated. And yet, so many do. You know why? Because they've never faced themselves in the mirror and said, "I'm responsible." That's the missing piece. Self-belief without self-responsibility is just arrogance. Real belief is rooted in ownership. You can't say you believe in yourself and still blame traffic for being late. You can't say you believe in yourself and hide behind excuses when you fall short. That's not belief. That's illusion. And illusions don't last under pressure. Belief that lasts is built with truth. Now let me tell you the truth about transformation. It's not overnight. It's not pretty. It's not social media friendly. It's messy. It's lonely. It's quiet. It's sitting at your desk at midnight when your body says sleep, but your vision says keep going. It's watching others party while you practice. It's turning off distractions when nobody's watching. It's waking up early for something only you can see. It's choosing growth over comfort again and again without a round of applause. That's the currency of transformation. And when you stack enough of those choices, belief becomes natural. You don't have to pump yourself up. You walk in alignment. And alignment creates energy that doesn't need explanation. People start asking you, "How did you become so confident?" And you'll smile, because they think it was a moment. But it wasn't. It was 10,000 micro decisions that nobody saw. Let's talk about systems, because belief isn't just about mindset, it's also about structure. Most people believe they need motivation. Wrong. They need systems. A system to show up, a system to track, a system to review, and that system reinforces identity. If you write every day, you start to see yourself as a writer. If you lead every week, you start to believe you're a leader. If you speak even when your voice shakes, your courage grows. Reps create results. Discipline creates identity, and identity is the root of belief. You will never outperform your identity. So if deep down, you still see yourself as weak, lazy, or inconsistent, no amount of hype will save you. You've got to rewrite that identity, and it starts by changing the language. Stop saying I'm trying, start saying I'm doing. Stop saying I hope, start saying I execute. Stop saying we'll see, start saying I'll show you. Language is power, and how you speak to yourself is either lifting you up or locking you down. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you complimented yourself privately? Not publicly, privately, when no one could see. That's self-respect. That's how belief breathes, through quiet appreciation. You want to level up your belief, start keeping a scorecard, not to judge yourself, but to notice yourself. Every win, every rep, every choice that aligns with your higher self, count it. That's the math of confidence. Now look, I know some people had a head start. Some were born into wealth. Some had mentors early. Some had environments that nurtured growth. Maybe you didn't. That's okay. But here's what you've got that they may not. You've got hunger, and hunger beats privilege. Every single time. You don't need the perfect start. You need a heart that refuses to settle. A heart that says, I don't care how long it takes. I'm not leaving without it. Let me give you something practical. Every morning stand up. Before the world speaks to you, you speak to you, out loud, with clarity. You say, I believe in me. I am consistent. I am not waiting for someone to pick me. I pick myself. I do hard things. I finish what I start. I trust my word. I am becoming unstoppable. Then you go love it. Not with noise, but with repetition. Remember this, the people who look the most confident are the ones who've fallen the most, and the ones who've had doors slammed and built new doors. The ones who stopped asking why me and started saying watch me. You want belief, then earn it. In the dark, in the cold, in the silence, when the motivation fades, when the excuses rise, when the stakes feel high, when you want to cry, when nothing seems to work, that's the moment you dig, because that's where belief lives. It doesn't live on the mountain. It lives in the mud. The truth is, belief isn't something you find, it's something you become. And when you become it, nothing, not failure, not doubt, not delay, can take it from you, because now, it's who you are.